Hi everyone, welcome to Spark and Wonder, the channel where we try to show curriculum and stories and fun things to spark wonder and curiosity and creativity in children and help them have an engaging, enchanted learning experience. Today we are going to dive into our second grade curriculum picks, so let's get right into it. First up, let's take a look at what I found for handwriting for this year. Those of you who've been on the channel for a while may recall that last year we ended up in a handwriting program that we loved, the Rhythm and Writing handwriting program. Details will be below. And if you saw that, you will recall that we finished out the curriculum completely and there is not a sequel to it. And so I wanted something to expand on her handwriting practice, and I have found a really neat one courtesy of a common wife life, I believe. I will leave the description of the video that I found below, where she talked about how she has two sensory processing disorder children who just really benefit from this curriculum. And it's so engaging that even my daughter walked in on that video and started begging me to buy the curriculum. And so when my daughter begs for handwriting curriculum, I go for it. The curriculum is called Draw Right Now, and it is different than your typical handwriting program. And that is because it's set up differently. You get a primary journal like this. I'm going to have my daughter decorate this and make it fun and kind of give her some ownership over the notebook once we get it. But it's one of these primary composition notebooks where the top half of the page is blank for picture drawing and the bottom half is these little lines. You can find these anywhere. They're dirt cheap. I found them for as low as like $1. I think I've seen them on Rainbow Resources for even less than $1. So draw right now. What you do is it encourages you to think beyond just the writing, and it kind of engages in more ways, like it processes and step by step and building up those hand muscles in other ways than just writing copy work over and over and over again. And it does it in a fun way. And so what you do is you start out, step one is to draw the picture for the week. This lesson is on hens. So you draw the hen, and then you do the copy work, and then you go above and you draw whatever you draw. You fill it, you color it in, and you draw in a background to go with it. And they have no there are 8 books in the series. No book in the series has more than 4 lines. The sentences start out, I've seen some say that you can do them in whatever order you want. I have seen that the pictures and the words used in the sentences kind of progress in their challenging levels. So these kind of start out really simple with simple shapes. By the end of the series, you're drawing Statue of Liberty and stuff like that. What I like about the series, it kind of makes it interesting, is that it kind of incorporates some other learning. So this first one is on the theme of farms, kids and critters, and storybook characters. And they kind of tell bits about those stories. And I'm trying to find, here it is. Here's the table of contents. And so these are all the pictures and stuff that the child will do in this book. Oh, that's not very focused, is it? Focus. There we go. And so, and then here's where I almost kind of went away from it. If you're on the channel for a while, you know I'm not a big fan about teaching Christopher Columbus. And to this point, we've kind of ignored him. She doesn't even know who he is yet. But I kind of figured if you look in the table of contents, you can see that it's only, if you do 3 lessons a week, like we're planning on doing, it is only 3 or 6 lessons on Christopher Columbus. And the facts that are in here are extremely basic. And and they don't present any of the facts that are controversial. And so I thought it would be a good way to introduce the man with the basic facts so she knows who he is and she's heard of him before, and kind of introduce him in a way that and there's a lot of legends around him, and introduce the concept of legends and myths and how stories can go on like that. We will be doing the first 4 books in this series. Again, there are 8. So we will be doing the first 4 books in the series, and we will be doing three lessons a week. And I feel like that is a pretty good kind of like step. So book 3 is Native Americans, North America, and the Pilgrims. So you can see. Well, I'm trying to make it see. Focus. Sorry guys if this seems more erratic than usual. I am trying out a new app that allows me to control the lighting better for you. And I seem to be liking that, but the autofocus is just a learning curve that you're going to have to be patient with. And so that's book 3. And then here's book 4. And book 4 is the polar regions, the Arctic, and the Antarctic. And so you can kind of see in the book. And again, my daughter is super thrilled to be going through this book. To the point where I brought this to our occupational therapist office so that our occupational therapist could kind of see it. And she wanted to show it off to a friend in the waiting room, and the 2 of them giggled for like 10 minutes while they waited for their therapist to come and get them. It's that impressive. And anything that engages my child in wanting to do her handwriting practice is a win, super win in my book. Moving on, we also this year will be finishing up, as you may recall, we are doing the Evan Moore Skill Sharpeners Reading Grade 1 throughout the summer. I'm not in any hurry with this. I feel like it is pushing her just the right amount. We've already done a few of the lessons. See if I can find some of it. The only one is like with Mule. Oops. With this one, focus. This one right here with Mule. And I feel like and that one, it wasn't that bad. I just couldn't remember the word mule and was thinking donkey like she was, or burrow. And we were confused on the vowel sounds with that. But it's fairly simple. It's kind of a confidence booster for her. We will be finishing this out throughout the year if we don't finish it in summer. Moving on, we have another Evan Moore Skill Sharpeners book. You're going to see a lot of these throughout our curriculum this year, and that's because the more I find of them, the more I really like them. I wouldn't call it a core standalone by itself for most things, but they do a really good job of beefing up a curriculum where you might have a few holes. This one is a nice, gentle approach to introducing spelling to my daughter. If you follow the pace, like with the different lessons, and space it out so that there's enough for the whole year, you end up with taking 3 weeks per spelling list and really kind of sitting on it and marinating on it. And some of the worksheets per unit have writing and grammar. And that really makes it kind of a nice little extra beefy kind of stuff. Oh, come on. Stay focused. Again, sorry, I am using a new app. I haven't quite figured it out. Maybe I just need to find there is a way to lock it, and I will try to figure that out soon. I will get better. One thing I kind of like about it It has this little record in the back for you to have like test your skills and spelling test and all of that. It has rip out pages for your words. Here are the words for the year. Yeah, so those are the word lists for the year, and we are just really liking it. If you're curious about the skill sharpeners, there is a whole bunch of different ones. Here are all the different categories that you can do. And there's a few more that you're going to be seeing throughout the year. There's one other that we have that apparently didn't make it onto the table for the language arts, and that is the critical thinking one. I will pull that out and show it to you when we get to the thinking life and learning skills subject. Moving on, we have essentials in writing. There is nothing terribly new about this. If you are familiar with it from last year, we really liked the first grade edition. It is a little on the pricey side. It's like $60, but I really like having a teacher to do the lesson, and so that you can just facilitate the lesson. That really is a nice thing. Here's the syllabus for the year. The pencil markings are how I am managing breaking it out for our school year. The numbers are how I do my weeks. I've already lesson planned for the year, so these are the things that you cover in the year. And it really is kind of a nice all-encompassing piece of curriculum that gives you a nice little break. And the DVD engages the child well. And the nice thing about it is that with it being on a DVD, if the child is having an ADD day and just not able to focus, and you're really struggling with it, and you know the child did not engage with the lesson, you just replay the DVD and you keep on moving on with life. And that makes life so much easier. Moving on, we have something else I'm doing this year is I am wanting to get her more engaged with creative storytelling and like pulling stories together for herself. So I've got a lot of these little story cards and like with different adventures and like that you can choose to kind of create. These guys that I found, they're space safari adventures and princess. And those I found in the dollar spot at Target. We also have this fairy tale spinner game back here. We have yet to play it, so I don't understand a whole lot of it, but it's a create as you go. And then lastly, I think I forgot to put it on here. I did. We got some story cubes. And I got these at the closeout and damaged sale at off of Timberdoodle. And it's just a bunch of dice that you take and you roll, and whatever the pictures show up, then you use those pictures to describe a story. And so they are just fun little story games. We will be doing these once a week just to kind of get everything going. Lastly, we got for you Hooked on Phonics, and this is level 7 and level 8, so we will be finishing out the Hooked on Phonics this school year. Just like all of the other levels, there are the 2 workbooks and a bunch of different readers that you earn. They're all cute. This one looks really fun. I bet my daughter's gonna love looking at these. So this is all stuff that they will be able to read. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. So this should all be stuff that they should be able to read by the end. I did find online, and you can find, and I do have some in here, that Hooked on Phonics has printouts that you can download for each like lesson. A lot of them are word searches. Some of them are busy work. Some of them I didn't bother to print out because was too much work. But it is worth, if you've got the curriculum, to make sure that you are going onto the website and printing off the word searches and stuff, because there are a lot of them and it does kind of add to your curriculum. And I am kind of annoyed that they're not in the workbook, because you would think that the workbook would be where you do the, oh, I don't know, work. But yeah, so it's very similar to all of the other Hooked on Phonics that we've done so far. Come on, focus. Here we go. And yeah, so same as always. We really like it. We've been doing some supplement stuff with it. We have had a few struggles with it. That is less to do with struggles with Hooked on Phonics and more to do with the fact that we have some learning disabilities and some ocular motor issues that we are fighting through, and less to do with the curriculum being flawed. But there is nothing that we can't work through with it. It's a very flexible curriculum in that regard, and that means I really like it, and it still engages my daughter. So that's it for the First Language Arts second grade curriculum. Tune in every week if you would like to follow along and see what curriculum picks we picked for our other subjects. I do curriculum reviews and I do story times for children a couple of times throughout the year. And I post videos every Wednesday and occasionally bonus videos on Fridays. And thank you for watching, everybody. Be sure, if you're curious about anything that you see on the table or that I've talked about today, be sure to look down below for the details and where to find those things. And be sure to click that like button for me so that you can support this video and help other people find it so that I can keep doing these videos for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.